How would you like to have 27,000 subscribers listening to you talk about the law? Our guest today, Aiden Durham, has just that, and she's here to share with you the secrets to her success. Hi, I'm Emily LaRouche. Are you ready to make the journey from lawyer to entrepreneur? Every week, I'm sitting down with people who have mastered the art of running a business and want to share with you the lessons they've learned along the way. Join me as we experience the highs, the lows, and everything in between as we learn, share, and grow together. Welcome to Share the Love. Aiden, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, how did you get started on an entrepreneurial journey to be an attorney instead of just going and working for someone else?
I always kind of felt that entrepreneurial pull in me. I'm not one for being told what to do. I don't like not having freedom of my own time and doing what I want to be able to do. So that was always something kind of in me. I knew I wanted to kind of do something for myself. And when I was in law school, about to graduate and start working, I was working for an attorney as an intern and as a law clerk, and I kind of thought I was going to get a job there after I graduated because my boss kept telling me that. And when I did graduate and pass the bar, it just didn't work out. He didn't really have the volume to justify hiring me, but I had kind of relied on it and didn't really apply for many other things, so I didn't have a lot of options. And so I was, now's as good a time as any to start my own practice and try doing it on my own and see how it works out. Because I knew eventually that was my goal anyway. So just that it was just good timing. And for whatever reason, the opportunity arose for me to start my own practice.
Awesome. And your website, I love it. I could just spend hours on it. It's cute, it's perfect, it has personality. I love it. And so, who better to do business law work for you than a business attorney who has her own stuff together? Were you already good at that? Is that why you went into business law, or is there a reason that you went down that path?
No, I wasn't really. I didn't really have any business experience. My dad owned a business growing up, so I helped him here and there, but I wasn't really business savvy until I started learning about it. And then once I did start growing my practice and learning how to run a business, all of that really came together and helped me learn even more how to serve my clients. And so it kind of just started happening. I didn't originally go into it thinking I wanted to do just business or be just a business attorney, but just going through the experience of doing it myself, obviously I now understand what my clients go through and what other entrepreneurs go through. So it just kind of made sense to focus more on that space because I can relate to everybody. I've been through exactly what all of my clients have been through.
You know the pain, the joy.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. I know the ups and the downs and all of it.
So a lot of attorneys, when they go into practice for themselves, they just name the firm whatever their name is. John Smith, attorney at law. What prompted you to make the change for your business?
Well, to be honest, the biggest prompt was that my name changed. I changed my last name, and instead of just changing the name of my firm to Aiden, from Aiden Kramer to Aiden Durham, I wanted to kind of take myself out of it. So it wasn't just me. And just in case my name changes again, I wouldn't have to go through it all again. I felt it gave me more of an opportunity to kind of brand my practice outside of it just being me. And if I grow or if I change my focus or something, I think it'll be more flexible and more fluid that way. And then it was just, I felt like it's a bit more fun. All, like you said, all the attorneys just stick their name on it and that's what their firm name is. And I wanted to do something a little more special than that and try to stand out a little bit more.
Awesome. And I love that you said you were thinking about the future. Something a lot of my team members come up with ideas and they may be great for today, but I'll say, well, how would that look when you have a business that's 20 times the size it is now? How would that work in 20 years? Is that really sustainable? So looking forward is awesome. And I love that you did that.
Mm-hmm.
And you also show personality in your brand, which is what even made me call you, because I love your show and I want to get all up in your business and find out how you've done it.
Thank you.
So, what prompted you to start the All Up in Your Business podcast show?
So that was really, it was mainly a way for me to get my face out there and get my personality out there. I knew right from the beginning that I didn't want to just be a normal lawyer. I had worked with lawyers before and I'd seen them interact with their clients before. And a lot of times it's the lawyer kind of talking down to the client or using big words or explaining things like they're talking to another attorney, when that's not what it is. Our clients usually are starting with very little knowledge of the law and legal jargon, and I don't want to intimidate them. So I wanted to make it clear from the get-go that I'm the kind of person, I'm going to talk to you like you're my friend. I'm going to talk to you in a normal language and in a normal way. And so using video, I thought, was a great way to do that, obviously, so people can see me and see my expressions and stuff. And also, there aren't a lot of attorneys on YouTube. There were a few back then that weren't, from what I could tell, weren't very active and their channels weren't very popular. So I saw a gap there, and everybody's on YouTube. So, why shouldn't our industry and why shouldn't lawyers be? And really my client base, for the most part, is younger. They're in their 30s and 40s and stuff, and most of us go straight to YouTube or Google for any kind of information. So if that's where my clients are going, I figured I should be there, so when they're searching, they'll find me.
And it's working, because 27,000 subscribers. My mind is blown to watch you talk about the law.
Right? I know. I didn't think I would get even 1,000, let alone 27,000. My mind is just as blown as yours.
Do you have any tricks? Is it just that your personality just brings them in?
Well, I do definitely think it's a mix of that. Maybe not necessarily my personality, but the fact that they can learn these complicated topics or these complicated concepts in a kind of easy way. But I think the biggest thing is just listening to my audience. Because I have some videos that do really, really well and are really popular. And then I have some that are completely unpopular. Maybe 3 people have seen them. So I pay attention to what topics people like and what kind of questions they're asking, so I can give them what they're looking for, instead of just putting out what I want to talk about or saying what I think is important. I think that's been what has been a big driving force in growing my channel, is just paying attention to what my viewers want.
Awesome. Have you seen that translate into people picking up the phone and calling you as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's 99% of my business probably comes from YouTube one way or another, whether it's finding the videos just on YouTube or seeing them shared somewhere else or shared on my website. I don't think my practice would even still be around if I hadn't started on YouTube.
Wow. So, what are some tips that you would give another attorney who says, I want to dip my toes into the video world? How do I get out and do it and get people to actually watch it?
So the first suggestion and the first tip is just do it. Don't worry about having the best equipment or looking the best or anything like that. The hardest part is just doing it, just filming yourself and putting it up there for people to look at. That's the most nerve-wracking part. And then as far as growing it, is just really persistence and keeping a regular schedule of posting. It took a really long time. It took probably at least 6 months before I had more than a few viewers that weren't just my family or my circle of friends. So it definitely takes a long time, but eventually it starts to grow. And then once people start noticing you, that growth starts to come kind of exponentially. Like the more people who see you, the more people who are going to see you. So really just staying consistent and not getting too discouraged by low numbers in the beginning is, I think, very important.
Just keep at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. And what are some of the other secrets to your success? Because you're doing really well and you have a great firm. What are some of the things that you said, you know what, I'm going to do a little differently than maybe some of the old fashioned attorneys were doing?
Mm-hmm. So I think my pricing structure is a little different than what is traditional. Normally we bill by the hour. I try to stay away from that as much as I can, just because I don't like it. It's more work for me, and then my clients don't like it either. They want to know what they're paying. And then in that same sense, I try to make everything very transparent when people are deciding if they want to work with me. Like I have most of my prices posted on my website, so you don't have to wonder what it's going to cost if you work
That
with
is so
me.
unheard of.
Yeah, and I was surprised. I thought lawyers would do that more often, especially if it's just an hourly rate. All you have to do is, here's my hourly rate.
Right.
And that answers the question that you would otherwise spend 15 minutes on the phone talking to this potential client about. And I try to package things in a nice way for my clients so I can be kind of a one-stop shop. And it helps me to scale as well. If I've got defined packages of services that I know will fit most clients' needs, that allows me to be more automated and work more efficiently too. And really just I try to make things as convenient for my clients as I can. So I meet virtually with most of my clients or over the phone. I don't make people meet me in person or drive to my office or anything like that. And I think that's still something that the legal community is working on getting into.
A little more flexibility.
Right, right.
Awesome. I love you have one package on your website and it's called the At Least It's Not Legal Zoom. So your branding is really good, and I think it's really important to figure out, who am I as an attorney? What do I want my firm to look like and feel like, and then be consistent with all of your messaging, and you do a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I think it's important to know what you want your feelings to be when you're at work, and you want what your clients' feelings to be while they're visiting or working with you too. And then just try to be consistent with that.
Do you find that your branding helps you to attract the kind of clients that you want to be working with, or do you still get a lot that you're like, not really a great fit?
It definitely helps to attract my ideal clients, because I know not everyone's a fan of the YouTube stuff or the funny all up in your business. Some people think that's unprofessional, and those people aren't really the people that I want to work with. So that on its own kind of rules out a few people. And yeah, when I get calls from potential clients, if the first thing they say is, I love your website, or I love that you love animals, I already know these are my people and these are the people that I want to work with. So it absolutely helps to filter out the clients that I probably wouldn't want to take anyway.
That's awesome. I think a big misconception that people have in all businesses is that if I say this is who I want, that they feel like they're closing the pie on themselves, that they're saying, well, I'm excluding everyone else, and it's just not that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not. And I've had that same fear too, and I still do every once in a while, but it really isn't. It's not that true. It's people will still think of you, and they think of you because of that distinct brand, I think, but they don't necessarily pigeonhole you into it.
Definitely stand out more. So we're talking about the website. What's the website address?
It's 180lawco.com. That's 180lawco.com.
Perfect. And we will put the link down here so you can check it out. And I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions before we go. What is the best vacation you've ever taken?
Best vacation, I just went on about 2 weeks ago to Iceland and Paris with my now fiance.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Iceland sounds amazing.
It is. No, maybe not in the winter. It was a little cold and windy and dark, but it's a fantastic place. I definitely want to go back.
Awesome. And what is the best book you've read?
Let's see. Business book or just book?
Either one. Pick a favorite. Any favorite.
Well, I'm a really big fan of Bethany Frankel. from the New York Real Housewives. And her book, A Place of Yes, was very inspiring to me. I don't know if you've read it, but it's all about just going into your life with a positive outlook and kind of going for your dreams and everything. And I really like that book, and I think it's got a lot of positive messages in it.
Awesome. What's your favorite guilty pleasure?
Well, ties into my last answer. Reality shows and trash TV. I love every single Real Housewife franchise. Teen Mom, I'm all about it. Any crappy show, reality show, I probably am in love with it.
The worse the better, right? Me too. And then finally, how can our viewers connect with you?
Best place is through my website, or you can email me at aiden@180lawco.com.
Awesome. And check out All Up in Your Business on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you. It's been so much fun.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Share the Love. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, share, and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and Google Play to get the latest content.